let's get into the second segment for today, Pop. We're doing a Bada Bets segment for this one, a post-draft Bada Bets. How you feeling, Pop?
Feeling good, feeling good. I think we were going to kick this segment off with a little bit of an overview and a little bit of a vibe check on the roster. So we talk all
Yep.
about the rookies and the new additions. We spent time on free agency. Go back, check those pods. But just a general sense of like when you look at this roster and you look at the depth chart, you look at offensive line. Let's start with offense. You look at offensive line, running back, wide receiver, tight end. you know, what's your thoughts related to that offense and that overall roster construction at this point? Did we get better, significantly better than last season? Why do you feel that way? And just some overall thoughts quickly on what you think about that offense as it's constructed now. Biggest holes, areas that excite you the most, those kind of things.
Got it. So biggest holes, left tackle, without a doubt,
Yeah.
on offense. Areas that excite me the most right now, quarterback and skill positions. I'm very excited about, I think, when you look at that Luke McCaffrey pick, for example, that's a guy that averaged a touchdown a game. When you look at Austin Eckler, scores a ton of touchdowns. When you look at Brian Robinson, he can get across the goal line too. You look at Zach Ertz, strong veteran presence in the red zone there. You add a tight end. And Terry McLaurin is nothing to sneeze at either. We saw some great flashes from Jahan Dotson. We don't know where he's going to land in terms of rookie year versus sophomore slump. Where's the truth in that mix, right? We'll see. But I'm very excited about the amount of weapons that we have on offense and the combination of exciting young players with veteran safety blankets, essentially, for Jayden Daniels.
Yeah, I think quick comments from me on the offensive side is I think B Rob, uh, Terry, and Jahan are three players they like a lot.
Yeah.
And they're three other the carryover guys. I think they clearly like a lot. You can see, yeah, the Luke McCaffrey was a good pick, but you see that they really thought those are three players that were part of the core of this offense. Probably Sam Cosmi, you could throw him in the mix as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think generally you've got a young quarterback and you've got a sketchy plan at offensive tackle that I still think they're going to need to figure something out. That I think they're going to need to add another veteran tackle. Maybe it's another Cornelius Lucas type, so that you at least got two to protect against injury and all of
Yeah.
that. Too much time in the sun this weekend, um,
You and me both.
but but yeah, I mean, I would say that sums up my thing. But what about the defense now? Because the defense, I'll go first here. I think I'm excited about what we've done on this defense. I think the
Yeah,
upgrades we
buddy.
made at linebacker, not only through free agency but in the draft, right? Beefing up that D line here and that, we might be a little bit 3-4. So maybe that, the fact that maybe edge wasn't addressed as much as we would like, maybe is not as big a factor. You could slide John Allen out there, which I do think is going to happen a bit more. And then, some of the additions in the secondary, the guys we're bringing back, some of the guys we got on free agency. I feel pretty good about this defense. I think this defense is going to have the biggest jump of these two units, right? I
Yeah.
mean, they both have a lot of room to grow, but I think this defense is really going to jump up and maybe be a surprising factor this season also in how they're getting coached up.
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest concern for me on the defense is going to be that secondary.
I
There's a
agree,
lot of young
especially
pieces.
corner.
You lose Kendall Fuller too, so there's no veteran
Right.
presence in that secondary anymore. I guess Jeremy Chin. But
I do like
that's
Jeremy Chin, but he's a bit of a hybrid. So when you talk about like coverage, he's not probably the best coverage guy. So I would agree in terms of just matching up in coverage. That's a concern. I think you're spot on there.
yeah, secondary makes me nervous. I'm actually excited about the pass rush, honestly. You've got Payne, you've got Allen, you've got Newton now. You've got Frankie Louvu, who I think is going to pick up a little bit more edge duties than you think. I think a lot of people see Frankie Louvu and they see the amount of money we've given him and they see the years and they think that's our new Mike. Hold on. He made a name for himself in the league as a pass rusher. We brought in Bobby Wagner to obviously be that Mike figure. I think this year is going to be a shootout between Davis and Luvu for who's going to become that kind of standing up Micah Parsons esque figure on this defense, pass
That's a
rusher.
great point.
Obviously, not comparing him to Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is a freak, but fill that type of role, you know? So
Love
I
that.
think I think Luvu's going to be that guy for us. We also added McGee, who could be that way as well. He's
Yep.
a real athletic guy.
Yep.
But so that's what I'm most excited about
So
is
the
the front seven.
linebacker position is important on a football team. I'm
Yeah,
confused.
believe it or not, I think you got to check my math on this one. We added 6 linebackers just this year. I think that's more linebackers than Rivera added in his entire tenure in Washington. Check my math on that. But I think that's more than he ever added. It's incredible.
And
But
he
yeah,
was a
turns out
linebacker.
so was Jack Del Rio.
Go
anyways,
figure.
anyways, let's get do you want to get into these bets, Pop?
Yeah, I like
I
it.
think we
I think
covered it, right?
I think we should. Yeah, no, I think I just had one more point related to the defense is that it feels like in order for that secondary to have some success, it's really going to mean that in that situation, guys that we think underperformed last year are really going to need to step up this year that are carrying over. So
God, I
what do they
wonder who
think
you
of
could be
Forbes
talking
Jr.?
about.
What do they think of Forbes Jr.? I'm talking about Forbes Jr., but also
Yep.
Ben St. Just, right?
Yep.
What are we're going to have to get some juice out of Juiced and Forbes, right? Like, see what I did there?
I like
Um,
that. I like that.
but I think those two guys are going to be keys in terms of how the staff can really coach them up. Yeah, we signed some free agents in that role too. We won't go into it now for the sake of time. We've talked about that again. Go back to the free agency pod.
Oh
Dominic
yeah.
did a fantastic job as always on that breakdown. But yeah, I think that secondary, it's going to be really interesting to see what they can get out of those returning guys, those returning players, especially in quarterback. So that was my
Yep.
but yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Set up this next segment, son.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Let's do it. So, Bada bets. Post draft Bada bets. We're looking at some futures here. We're looking at some long lines. So, over under right now, the win total for the Commanders is set at 6.5. I believe this is the exact same place it was set last year, and we were all on here going, "What the hell are they talking about? There's just no way with as good as this team played last year with Taylor Heineke at quarterback. There's just no way that Howell, even if he's average, doesn't win at least 8, 9 games." And I think we both got on here and predicted 9 wins or 10 wins or what have you. But you know how that one ended up. Vegas is always right. This year they do favor um, the Commanders getting over that. So it's right now the lines that I have from DraftKings. I believe it's like 100 minus 120 for the over, and then like plus 105 for the under. So it is slightly favored that we're going to get over that. Vegas thinks we're going to win 7 games essentially. Where are you at on that, Pop? Over under?
Of course, I'm smashing the over. You know
Yeah,
that. You know that. I'm optimistic that this team is a 7-8 win team. Maybe better. You never know. Lightning could strike. Maybe
yeah,
Jayden comes out on fire. Kingsbury's cooking with that offense and everything. Defense does some of the good things we talked about earlier in this pod. But I'm smashing you over. I mean, come on.
yeah.
How can you not be optimistic after the last 40 minutes you just heard here?
Yeah, I'm going over as well. I think this team reminds me a lot of the 2022 Jaguars. That first year after Urban Meyer left with Doug Peterson, veteran head coach, had been to a Super Bowl, been there before, young quarterback, a lot of feisty young pieces. I think this is a team you're going to want to see in September, October, rather than November, December. I think by the end of the year, it's going to evolve into a pretty tough out. And if I remember correctly, that Jaguars team won 9 games and a playoff game. So I'm not predicting all that, but I do think we get over 6.5.
Woo!
I'm not predicting all that. Let me be clear. All right, let's get to the rest of these lines here. We got Offensive Rookie of the Year, Caleb Williams plus 210, Marvin Harrison plus 600, Jayden Daniels plus 1,000. J.J. McCarthy plus 1,000. Malik Neighbors plus 1,400. You got to lean there, Pop?
I'll go chalk. I'll go with Caleb. I don't even care whether Jayden wins it or not. It doesn't matter to me. I just
Yeah,
want him to play, have a really good season, continue to grow, continue to improve like he has the last couple of years. I won't make the homer pick there. I'll go Caleb Williams.
yeah,
Chalk. I think he's really set up for success in Chicago as well. I expect him to have
definitely.
a great year.
I'll be honest with the way the lines are set up. I would pick Jayden Daniels here. I think there's the best value.
For sure.
I'm
I'd put a
hype on
little
him
Scott
getting
Hall
there,
on Jayden too.
but
Little
I'm
Scott
gonna
Hall there. But I
officially
probably
put.
won't because I just worry about jinxing it. So to be
Yeah,
honest, I probably won't.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to make that my official pick for the
But
podcast.
it is good value.
I'm gonna go Marvin Harrison Jr.
Okay,
at
I
plus
like it.
600. I'm
I
gonna go
like it.
Marvin Harrison Jr. Even though I think I agree with you. To think gun to my head, it's Caleb Williams for sure. It's just not fun if we both pick the same guy. Jaden Daniels.
Who's throwing the
Oh,
ball to Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Kyler
Kyler
Murray.
Murray. Calamari. That's right.
It's time. I've been calling it
Calamari.
probably 3 years in a row. I've been calling for a Kyler Murray comeback on this podcast, and damn it, I'm sticking to it. It's time. It's time for Kyler to reinsert himself.
Let's do it. I like it.
Uh, it's my short brother, man. I gotta stick with
That's
him.
right.
Vertically challenged kings. Anyways, Jaden Daniels over 3,075 and a half passing yards, minus 112. I guess the under is plus 112. What do you got there, Pop?
No, they're both minus 112.
They're
So
both
basically,
minus 112, so
yeah.
you're just throwing money away. Okay, what do you got?
No, I'm high on Jade. I'll go over. I have no idea. It doesn't. Again, I think if he's multifaceted and be able to do it with his arms, legs. I think it. I'm going to do the homer pick and say over, but I do think this is going to be a run first offense, and I do think they're going to rely on play action. I'm not sure. I expect them to really be lighting it up from a yardage perspective. I know
Yeah,
3,000 yards isn't incredible. How much did Sam have this year? Yeah.
more than
Don't worry about
that.
looking it up. Don't worry about looking it up.
I
But
can get it in 2 seconds, but yeah, I think he had more than that. I don't
I'll
know.
look it up. You talk.
Yeah, 3,900 yards, but
Yeah.
that's because he was throwing the ball 200 times a game.
60 straight times or something.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna
yeah,
take.
definitely over then. Definitely over. But I don't
Yeah,
again, I don't think we're gonna be judging Jaden by passing stats at the end of this. I think we're gonna be judging him more by how he runs the team. And and hopefully some big plays
yeah.
happening there. Yeah.
I'm going over because if you
Yeah.
divide that number by 17, it's 180 yards. Those are Taylor Heineke
Boy
numbers. I
doing
think.
math.
I think.
My art student doing math. Love
Look, when it comes down to sports betting, I get real mathy real
it.
fast. That's the one time I do math. But yeah, I'm definitely going over there. I think 180 yards. I think he's going to do more than that. I mean, he was averaging like 317 yards a game at LSU, and Cliff Kingsbury. I agree. I think we're going to run the football well. I think it'll be more balanced. But Cliff Kingsbury likes to throw the football. Let's not get it confused. And we didn't draft if we wanted to just be that run first team and have a game manager, we would have taken McCarthy. We didn't do that. We wanted the
I don't think you're
stud.
talking. I
We're
don't
going to
think you're
get the
talking
stud.
game manager, but I think they're gonna. I think it's gonna be more about run first to set up that big play, to set up that,
Yeah,
and then of course Jaden's gonna be dynamic and make some plays with his legs. So I think it's just, but they definitely need to be. You scare me now. They got to be disciplined here. They got to have a run threat so they can set up the play action, and they got to
definitely.
make the defense play 11 against 11. That's the keys to success. But I tell you what, Dom and Pop are bringing it. Who expected a Bada bet section on a draft pod? Come
Yeah,
on now, people.
yeah. Boys got through it. But let's wrap this thing up. It's been a long one, bit of a
Not
marathon pod
fun.
here, but a lot of stuff to get through. A lot of fun. Only happens once a year that your team adds 10 new players, so you got to take a little bit of time to talk about it. But let's wrap this thing up, guys. Without further ado, I've been Dom,
This is Pop.
and thanks for another great week.